let's say that a lav mic is not your jam. Maybe you don't want to fool with clipping it on, or maybe you don't like the way it looks in the shot because it's like messing up your aesthetic, or maybe you just want some really crispy sounding audio. Well, there's another type of mic you could use like this that is called a shotgun mic. This is a long microphone and it looks kind of like a shotgun, I guess, and so that's where it gets its name. And it's a very directional mic, and so it's going to be very sensitive to whatever you aim it at, so whatever's right in front of it, and it's going to be way less sensitive to what's on the side and the back of it. So if I'm talking to this mic, I do not want it pointed over here or over here. No, you need to come back right here, pointed straight at my mouth. So you can put a shotgun mic right on your camera, then you tighten it up and plug that mic wire right into your camera. And then you can use the shotgun mic for things like quick on the street interviews with somebody. Let's say you didn't have time to put a lav on that person, or maybe you got a bunch of back-to-back interviews, then a shotgun mic is gonna get great audio. You still want to be close to them, so like within arm's length, but as long as you're close, this is going to sound so good. I especially like shotgun mics when I am recording somebody talking who is in a noisy environment, because they are so laser focused on the source of the sound. And so if I was interviewing somebody right next to a noisy road, then I would make sure to turn that shotgun mic away from the road, and then that's going to do a great job at cutting down that background noise. Shotgun mics are also great if you're filming something like a group of people that's singing happy birthday at a party. You know, in that situation, you're obviously not going to put a lav mic on every person there, but just leaving this shotgun mic on your camera at all times, you're going to get way better audio quality than if you just relied on the mics inside your camera. If you are using the mic this way, it is definitely a good idea though to set your camera to show the audio levels on screen all the time while you're recording, assuming that your camera has this feature, because then you're going to be able to monitor those audio levels in real time and then just adjust them on the fly as the volume in your scene changes. Shotgun mics are also great for recording natural sounds in your environment, sound effects. And I love the way shotgun mics sound when you're capturing voices. So when you have a shotgun mic close to your mouth like this, I think it sounds better than the audio that's coming from this lav, because the lav is not quite as focused at just my mouth. That means that you can use a shotgun mic to get a really high quality voiceover, especially if you're somewhere like a closet. Just aim it down toward your chest and point it at something soft. Another great spot to record your voice is in the car. I mean, I'm just chilling back here with all of this soundproofing already built in, and so either one of these is gonna sound like a professional recording studio, and you ain't gotta spend a dime. You could also take a shotgun mic and then attach that to a mini tripod. Then you can put that on a table, connect an audio extension cable, and then plug that into your camera, and then you have this nice setup where you could just sit at a table and talk to your audience. Now, if you don't like the way this mic looks, then you could also keep it close to your mouth, but just move it a little bit out of the frame. So you could put it just out of frame right below you, and this is gonna sound pretty good. I mean, it's definitely gonna sound better than if you were just using the mics in your camera, but it's not the best position because the mic is kind of aimed toward the ceiling, which is this hard reflective surface, so we're gonna get a little bit of echo. And because of that fact, we like to put a shotgun mic just out of frame above the subject. And so now, you know, it's down into these soft clothes on my chest and my lap, and even if it did have a little echo because the floor is hard, it's a lot easier to cover the floor with blankets than to cover the ceiling. In this setup, the shotgun mic is mounted to this lightweight pole that's called a boom pole. And this one right here costs 49 bucks. It's the Rode Micro boom pole, but even though it's micro, it extends to over 6 feet, which is more than we have ever needed. Although there are boom poles that are like over 30 feet, which is crazy. Anyway, with a boom pole, you could have somebody walk around with you all day, hold that mic just out of frame, and then you're gonna get this great audio. Your hands are gonna be free. The mic is not in the shot, and then somebody else is gonna get a really nice arm workout, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have somebody on standby just to be your boom operator, but you still want to be able to walk around and get great audio, and you can't hold a mic because you're going to be using your hands, then that is when you want to use a lav mic with an external audio recorder. That's why we've been using them all day today for this lesson. But if you want to be able to record audio in any of the other ways that I just talked about, then a shotgun mic is probably your best bet. So if you're interested in a shotgun mic, then what kind of shotgun mic should you buy? Well, you got two options. Option number one has a thin little wire like this, and option number two has a big old wire like this. So which one of these do you think is going to record better quality audio? Actually, just wait, we're going to test both of them out and then you tell me. So right now, you are listening to me talking a shotgun mic that has this thin 3.5 millimeter cable. And right now you're listening to a shotgun mic that uses this thicker cable, which is called an XLR cable. 3.5 millimeter XLR cable. So obviously the XLR sounds better, and it's probably not going to surprise you that an XLR shotgun mic is going to cost you more than a 3.5 millimeter one. So a 3.5 millimeter shotgun mic runs from about $60 to $300. But the good thing about it is you're probably going to be able to plug it into your camera, because most cameras that look like this, that are DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, they are only going to have a 3.5 millimeter port. And so if you want to use a shotgun mic, but you don't want to have to buy an external audio recorder, then you want to go with a 3.5 millimeter one. Now, this XLR shotgun mic costs about $700. And because we can't connect it to our camera, we need to use it with an external audio recorder that actually has an XLR input. Here's the one we use. We have used it forever. It's very popular. Costs about $220 on top of that $700 mic, but it has 2 XLR inputs, which is nice in case we ever want to record with 2 mics during a video. But you can also get a smaller XLR recorder that's a little cheaper. It's $120. It's only got 1 XLR input, but it's going to give you that super high quality XLR audio. But either one of these recorders, look, I mean, having an XLR mic, this is a pricey setup. We were reluctant to take the plunge and invest in this for a long time, and we're pretty cheap. But I will say, every time we have listened back to this crispy, incredible audio, I mean, we can't be mad that we bought this mic. Anyway, if you're interested in a shotgun mic, then I have product recommendations at different price points listed in the audio guide. And I want you to keep in mind that you can still get really, really great audio with the cheapest mic. It's much more about how you use it. And even though, you know, the XLR is going to sound better when you hear it back to back, most people, if they're just hearing that 3.5 millimeter, they're never going to think that your audio quality is bad. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about which one to get. And all of the mics that we recommend in this guide are from a company that's called Rode, and we've used their mics forever. They all come with some kind of warranty. Some of them are 10-year warranties. We had a mic that had a 10-year warranty. We sent it in at the 9th year because it had a little issue. They got us a brand new mic so fast. I was so impressed. And so if you go with one of their mics, definitely register it so you get that extended warranty, because it's totally worth it. Okay, now we're gonna do the audio setup for our gear organization tutorial, and I'm gonna let my partner Miles walk through that, since he's the one that usually does this at all of our shoots.
All right, for our setup, we're gonna use this XLR shotgun mic, and we're gonna use this boom pole that we talked about earlier. Gonna put it right above Mary's head here so it's outside the frame, but before we do that, I need a shock mount. So a shock mount is like the shocks in your car. It goes in between the boom pole and the mic, and it absorbs all the vibrations so that you don't have any problem with your audio. So you're always gonna want a shock mount if you're walking and holding the boom pole, or people are walking around where your mic is. Now, 3.5 millimeter shotgun mics usually have this built in, like ours here. But normally for XLR mics, you have to buy them separately. And this shock mount here that we use is about $70. By the way, all the products I'm about to mention are listed in the audio guide if you're interested. Now, I really don't want to hold this boom pole the whole time, so I got myself this heavy duty metal stand. It's called a C-stand. Do you see it? It's a stand. That was too much. So to set up the C-stand, the feet go out just like this, and then you just put the pole in right here. If we were putting something really heavy on this, like some heavy duty lights or something, we'd add a sandbag, but since this mic and boom pole are so light, we really don't need them today. Next, we're gonna attach this grip head to the top of the C-stand. That holds your boom pole holder, which holds your boom pole. All right, so before I plug this wire in to my mic, I need to figure out exactly where my C-stand is gonna go, how long my boom pole is gonna be so that it can reach Mary, and then just plug it in, string it along, and secure it. All right, I'm just gonna extend it a little bit. I'm gonna get it a bit closer.
Trying to get it as close to my mouth as possible while not being in the shot. So right now you can see the top of that mic. So it's got to come up a little bit.
Just want it right out, and
bam.
Right about there.
Now that you know about the angle of the mic.
Yes, we want to make it pointed toward the chest, about 45 degrees. I usually ask the subject to put up a hand, get that distance just about right, because that's about as far as you want to be between your mouth and the microphone. And most importantly, that's good.
Oh, am I done?
There the whole time. Most importantly, we don't want the mic in the shot. And we have a monitor here. I can see it's not in the shot. So we're good to go. All right, so I'm just gonna plug this in.
Is there an art to the wiring?
You wanna make sure your boom pole is tight and in place. You don't want that spinning around while you're trying to put the wire on. And then I just kind of spin it down.
That technique though.
All right, we're back in. I need you to sit in the spot.
Okay.
All right, can you talk a little bit? What did you have for breakfast this morning?
This morning for breakfast, I had a waffle and some cantaloupe, and I also...
Whoa, wait.
All right.
You were way peaking. Keep going.
I had 3 pieces of Canadian bacon and that was it. What else should I talk about? It really doesn't matter what I
How
talk
many
about.
brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one brother. His name is David. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about him because he is an artsy fella. He's super cool. He designs websites. These are the questions that we normally ask people if we're about to start an interview, because if you just say like, oh, just say 1, 2, 3, ABC, then they say it really nervous and not in their normal voice. And so we just ask them something that they can talk about really easily so we can get a gauge on where their volume level is gonna be. And do I need to keep talking? Am I good?
No, we're good. I got you in between -12, -6 on average, right where I want you. Hey, can you talk about something a little exciting?
I am so excited about this
Whoa.
exciting thing, and we're gonna test and see how loud my voice gets when I am just so excited talking about really, really, really exciting things.
All right, I got you a little lower, and I think we're in good shape.
That means we're done with sound, y'all.